Hello everybody, it's a beautiful day and I've come down to Poo Pick, so I thought I would give you a quick video of why I became a groom again in my 40s. I left school and I worked at a racing yard, which I loved, but it was a long way from home and it was transport there and back every day. So I did that for 6 months and I really did enjoy it. The horses are brilliant and I loved seeing that way of life because racing definitely is a way of life. I then went and got a proper office qualification, which was fun, but when you're 16 you don't really want to be doing things like that and being stuck indoors all the time when you're used to being outside. So I then went on to be a show pony groom yard manager. I then went on to do, what was it then, into a small stud that bred thoroughbreds, and the lady also showed Appaloosas and warm bloods, so that was quite vast. There were only two of us there. That was a big experience, but I learnt so much, which I've then taken forward. But then I decided after that I just didn't enjoy riding other people's horses all the time. I don't mind riding my own, but being forced to do it day in, day out when you're really not feeling brilliant and you're exhausted, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I then went and got a proper job in an office, which was fine to start with. I worked in call centres and things, which was not really what I wanted to be doing, but it paid well, and that's what meant I could keep my own horses. So then I got to 2007 and I had a big car accident and fractured 3 vertebrae in my neck. So I've carried on as best I could for a while, but the pain was just getting worse and worse and it was just getting beyond a joke. So when it got to COVID in 2020, we all started working from home, which was amazing. It suited me down to the ground. I'm autistic, so I can't cope with the office environments anymore anyway. So I did manage to get 3 people's worth of work done, just be quite happy at home minding my own business and watching Netflix and keeping my brain occupied. But then it got to the point that they wanted me back in the office. Occupational health said no because the pain was getting so bad that I was just crying by lunchtime every day. A consultant was on about surgery was the next option, which is just not really something you want to mess around with nerve damage that I've got in my neck as well now. So I got to the point that I decided I can't do this anymore. It's just goalposts keep changing, so I'm going to go back to work with horses, but I don't want to ride. I just want to ride my own, and if I come off riding one of my own and paralyse myself with my neck damage, then that's my issue. But if you do that on somebody else's horse, it's a bit different. So I made sure that I advertised. Well, I put a post up on Facebook saying, "Does anyone want a groom, a non-riding groom?" Because I just thought, if I let people know from the beginning, fair enough, and then there's no way around it. And I got offered a job straight off, and I loved the riding school that I worked at. I looked after the private liveries, and it was just brilliant. That's recently shut, and I'm now freelance, and I can truly and honestly say I love every minute of it. The customers that I've got, all the clients I've got, the horses are all wonderful. They all trust me explicitly with their horses, and it's brilliant. So if you want to work with horses, people will always tell you there's no money in horses unless you're a vet. And no, it's not the best paying job in the world. And especially if you're full-time in a competition yard, it's long hours and it's hard work. But you've got to work out what's more important in your life, especially like me, if you think you're a bit older and you're too old to go and make a change. Work out how much you need to cover your bills every month and see if it's financially viable. I'm lucky that I've got enough money from working, especially freelance now, enough money to pay for my horses. I've got the 3 horses, I've got 2 dogs, I've got a partner. I'm not interested in holidays. I'd rather put the money into my horses and training with them, especially when Totes gets competing next year. And if you're still young, do it, and you still want to do it before you get bogged down with a mortgage and kids. Life's too short to be stuck in a job that makes you unhappy.